This video will give some examples of direct proofs and proofs by contrapositive. A direct proof of a statement of the form A implies B is a proof that assumes A and proves B, going step by step through some intermediate statements. In contrast, a proof by contrapositive of a statement A implies B is a proof that assumes not B and proves not A. This works because not B implies not A is logically equivalent to A implies B. Personally, when I set out to prove something, I'll usually start by attempting a direct proof. But if I get stuck, I'll change my strategy and attempt a proof by contrapositive instead. Before we get started proving things, I want to mention a few definitions and facts. An integer n is called even if there is some integer k such that n is equal to 2k. And an integer n is odd if there is some integer k such that n is equal to 2k plus 1. For example, 6 is even because 6 can be written as 2 times 3, and 11 is odd because 11 can be written as 2 times 5 plus 1. It's a fact that we will use, but we won't prove right now, that every integer is either even or odd, but not both. We'll also be talking about rational numbers. A rational number is a number that can be written in the form a over b, where a and b are integers and b is not equal to 0. For example, 23/16 is a rational number. For our first proof, let's prove that if x is an even integer and y is any integer, then the product xy is an even integer. Let's assume that x is an even integer and y is any integer. By definition of even, we can write x as equal to 2k for some integer k. So xy is equal to 2k times y, which is the same thing as 2 times the integer ky. K times y is an integer because it's a product of two integers. Therefore, xy is even because it's of the form 2 times an integer. I use a little square to signify that I'm done with the proof. As our next example, let's prove that the sum of any two rational numbers is rational. I can rephrase this as saying that if x and y are both rational, then x plus y is rational. So let's assume that x and y are rational. By definition, that means that x can be written as some ratio p over q, where p and q are integers, and q is not 0. Similarly, y can be written as some ratio, say r over s, where r and s are integers, and s is not equal to 0. So let's look at the sum, x plus y. Well, that's going to be equal to p over q plus r over s. And I can rewrite that as p times s plus r times q over the common denominator, qs. Since p, q, r, and s are all integers, ps plus rq is an integer, and qs is an integer. So x plus y can be written as a ratio of two integers, where the integer in the denominator, qs, is not equal to 0 because q is not 0 and s is not 0. Therefore, x plus y is a rational number. Next, let's prove that for an integer x, if 5x plus 4 is even, then x is even. I'm going to start by trying a direct proof. So I'm going to assume that 5x plus 4 is even and try to prove that x is even. 5x plus 4 is even means that 5x plus 4 can be written as 2 times k for some integer k. I need to show that x can be written as 2 times some other integer. So maybe I'll try solving for x. 5x is 2k minus 4, so x is 2k minus 4 over 5. I could even write that as 2 times k minus 2 over 5, but it's not at all clear to me why this expression should be an integer. I'm feeling stuck, so I'm going to try instead a proof by contrapositive. That means I'm going to assume the negation of my conclusion and prove the negation of my premise. So I'm going to assume that x is not even. That means that x is odd, so x can be written as 2k plus 1 for some integer k. Then 5x plus 4 can be written as 5 times 2k plus 1 plus 4, which is 10k plus 9. Notice that that's an odd number because it can be written as 2 times 5k plus 4 plus 1, and 5k plus 4 is an integer. So 5x plus 4 is odd, and that means it's not even. So I've proved the negation of my premise, and I finished my proof by contrapositive. As our last example, let's prove that if x is irrational, then square root of x is also irrational. If I try a direct proof, I run into trouble pretty quickly. If I assume that x is irrational, that means that x is not rational, so x cannot be written as a ratio p over q for any integers p and q. But square root of x, I don't really know where to go from here. It's a lot easier to work with rational numbers, things that can be written as a ratio of integers, than things that can't. So I'm going to try this proof using contrapositive. So I'm going to assume the negation of my conclusion. So I'm going to assume that square root of x is not irrational. In other words, that square root of x is rational. So the square root of x can be written as p over q for some integers p and q, with q non-zero. Now x, that's going to be the square root of x squared. So I can write that as p over q squared, which is p squared over q squared. Since p and q are integers, p squared and q squared are integers, and since q is non-zero, q squared is non-zero. So x is a ratio of integers where the denominator, q squared, is not zero. Therefore, x is rational. So we assumed the negation of our conclusion, and we got the negation of our premise. We got that x is rational or not irrational. That completes our proof by contrapositive. This video gave some basic examples of direct proofs, where we start with P and march forwards to prove Q, and proofs by contrapositive, where we go backwards, where we start with not Q and use that to prove not P.